Hello everybody, my name is Rydo, and today we are going to start a series in which we cover Deus Ex The Fall. Now, there's going to be some things we need to cover first of all. The Fall is, chronologically speaking, as far as I've seen in the story, the earliest game made by Deus Ex. Chronologically, storyline speaking. But it is actually the newest game until Deus Ex Mankind Divided comes out. So it would probably be the best idea to cover this game first, and that's why I'm covering it, because I really did have the option to play any of them. I could have played the original, I could have played the sequel Invisible War, and I could have played the third game, the most recognizable and probably the best game, Human Revolution. But it wouldn't be fair as a reviewer to just play Human Revolution and off that experience uh, completely ignore the fall and then recommend that you buy Mankind Divided. I think the creators of Deus Ex would wish people would do that, but it's not fair. We need to know as a gaming society, we need to look at what has been made most recently and use that as part of our decision matrix. So let's get into the history. Deus Ex The Fall was an Android iOS game. It has been ported to PC, and it is, like I said, set in the earliest of the timeline. So, first thing I want to point out for this PC port is when you push anything with the gamepad controller, nothing highlights any of the buttons at all. And then you have to click basically to get the mouse back to do it. But when you go and look at the control settings, it says gamepad controls right here. It shows you what looks like a quite complicated actually amount of interactions with the gamepad settings. So it's here. Uh, Also, a lot of reviews said you couldn't remap keys. For the keyboard at least, you can now, it seems like. So maybe they've patched it and the new reviews are old. But this hasn't been patched. To get the gamepad to work, you literally have to come over here and click gamepad on. Even though it was taking away the mouse before, not until you turn on the gamepad do you start highlighting things. Uh, Also, let's point out there's more content here. It's not showing anything. I think the reception was so poor they didn't bother to add anymore. And the Facebook button, it goes to Deus Ex's main Facebook page, which is all talking about uh, Mankind Divided and hoping you don't remember what that the fall exists. As far as the other things, we don't have a ton of options. Purchase confirmation. Oh, I hope that doesn't mean we get a bunch of try to free to play things, because that would suck. We have our controls, sensitivity. It's the basics what you need. Resolution could go higher if I so chose. Uh, what is that? 2K right there. 2K resolution. Not terrible. Thought. And anti-aliasing is MSAA times X if you know what any of that is. Audio is show subtitles and 3 audio settings for each point. So that's the basics. Then we have some tutorials here which hopefully the game itself will teach us how to play all of these. Uh, as far as Deus Ex, I have played Human Revolution, and that's the only one I have played, so understand that's where I'm coming from. I've played Human Revolution, this is the next game I'm going to play. I'm going to, some point after this series, play Human Revolution again. Uh, Hopefully I'll get that done before the Mankind Divided is released. So this gives me an opportunity to play it in story-wise what has happened. It is a cyberpunk thing. Hopefully they'll explain the story. We could look at this turntable, which I think is just a area to look at the models. I mean, I don't know if that's really necessary in any game, but people bothered to make the 3D models, they might as well show them off. And then we have some achievements that I've looked at, and it's spoiler alert if you don't want to see the achievements, but it's not a ton here, so I don't suspect that, as I'll slowly go up these, that there's going to be a lot of game here, particularly knowing that it was a cell phone game. I imagine we will only go at most 10 hours in this game, and we'll be done. So, yeah, that's, I think all we really need to know is realize this is the latest thing they churned out. This is the earliest story-wise, and I've played Human Revolution and nothing else. And we're gonna play Deus Ex. It's a kind of weird, if it's like Human Revolution, it's kind of a weird first-person shooter where a lot of times you don't even have to do any first-person shooting, and it seems kind of small. Human Revolution just generally felt kind of like a small snippets of what would have normally been a much larger game, and it was kind of weird in that way. Anyways, that's Human Revolution. We're going to be doing the fall. Let's begin.
Are we ready to begin?
We've established the candidate firm as a viable proxy. Public interest is strong, market confidence is high. I've spoken with my people in New York. Our ghost will be ready to activate when the moment comes.
And the research? The trials are complete, yes?
We're close, but we need more time.
Explain.
The tests have yielded excellent results during this phase, but the effects vary. With more time, we can ensure the mechanism will work exactly as required. And you told us the latest batch was ready for release. All of our plans depend on your provision. Delays are unacceptable. To get the data we require, the testing regimen will need to be increased.
We can see to that in Panama. You'll have what you want. Are we at risk?
Our new recruit is ready, but he is unstable.
And the scientist?
Under control. He'll do what he's told.
What about the two that got away?
Missing. Presumed dead.
They interfered in Geneva. That cannot happen again.
If they come out of hiding, I'll kill them myself.
Panama. Okay, so there's...
Turning now to our main story. The global shortage of neuropozyne is making life difficult for augmented people everywhere. Pharmaceutical giant VersaLife, sole manufacturer of the anti-rejection drug, has suffered multiple setbacks in recent months, slowing the company's ability to meet demand.
Anna, what's wrong? You're unsteady.
I'm fine. As good as can be expected.
Are you skipping your meds? I know you're not sleeping. Come on, talk to me.
It doesn't matter. The clock is ticking, Ben. You know they're out there looking for us. And it's only a matter of time before he finds out where we're hiding.
He won't find us here.
We can't just sit here waiting. If we had enough information, proof of what they're doing, we could expose them. Conspiracies thrive in the darkness. But if we could shine a light on them, so bright it would make it impossible for them to operate.
2 against the Illuminati. You'll never expose the Tyrants. They just cover their lies with more lies. They work in the shadows, it's what they're good at. I know because I used to be one of them. The only way to stop them is to wipe them out.
What happened to you, Ben? Before Geneva? What was it like to be a tyrant? What did you see? Tell me about him.
Couldn't tell where the man ended and the machine began. His name is Jaron Lemire, commander of the Tyrants, the covert Black Ops unit. I was working for the Bell Tower PMC. Namir rescued me from a mission that went bad. Operation Rainbird, right in the heart of the Australian Civil War. I lost my entire team out there. We were shot down. Only 2 of us survived the crash, me and Sam. Corporal Sam Duarte. But Sam died before they came. I had nowhere else to go. Namir recruited me. My first mission with the Tyrants was in Moscow. The target was a Russian minister. They said he was in bed with a cyber warfare hacker group. They said he was the one responsible for Operation Rainbird. Namir gave me a chance for revenge.
Okay, that was a long intro. And boy, did those graphics not look great.
Activate the wet drive. Call up the primary target. Remember that face, Ben. This is the man responsible for the deaths of your former team. You are to terminate him with extreme prejudice.
For Sam and the others.
All call signs, check in.
This is Blue, ready to roll.
Gray here, let's go.
White, I'm already in position.
Red, follow me. Go now.
So this is a cyberpunk game.
Earthman, move your ass.
Oops. Oh yeah, and you have the ability, some people at least have the ability
Switch to
to
encrypted frequency. From this moment on, use code names and sub-vocal
right
communication only.
thumbstick to look around. Wow, that is not smooth. Let's see if we can adjust that, because that's really not good. Mouse sensitivity, gamepad sensitivity. Let's try 2. Let's try 1. Oh. So there's corporations are trying to secretly run the world. Everybody is augmented that gives them these cyber powers. Wouldn't the sensitivity of 0 be nothing? It just doesn't respond. Why is that even an option? There's corporations trying to run the world. Everybody's getting augmented. One corporation sells this drug that keeps you from rejecting your augments. The reason I think why everybody's getting augmented isn't just that people are willy-nilly chopping off their limbs. It's that there's been war going on and everybody's been in the war, and thus they've had to replace limbs that they lost there because it's particularly brutal. Alright. That's a little bit better. Press Y to
You can
look.
look in any direction by using the right thumbstick. You can invert your look controls in the options menu.
Thank you. I don't think that was really needed.
You can move in any direction by using the left thumbstick. You can control your movement speed and walk forward or backward and strafe left or right.
You wouldn't need this tutorial in any game, come on. Notice there's 2 batteries up there and 100. I think that's 100 to his life, and the 2 batteries are the energy that you have. So some of the effects you can do with your augments require energy. Use the left thumbstick to move. We're moving towards this guy. They want us to kill the target with
Secure the
extreme
roof. Check for stragglers. Gray, with me.
prejudice, so just violently. But this game often has at least an option to the Deus Ex games that I played, which is on the Human Revolution, rewarded you if you tried to do it non-lethally. So I think we'll try and stick with that in our playthroughs. Use the left trigger to enter cover in the highlighted area. Come on, left trigger.
You're like a little girl. And what does that even mean?
There we go.
Use the right thumbstick to align the crosshair with your enemies. Use the right trigger to fire your weapon when an enemy is inside your crosshair for an accurate shot.
Okay. I feel like I've gotten into a tutorial mode that I didn't really intend to. Okay. Is that gonna hit him? How do I shoot? One shot, one kill. Okay, so interesting. This totally does feel like a cell phone game, obviously, because no regular game would work this way. Oh, and that sensitivity is just awful. I had to just focus on that. So now we press up and A to jump over. Doesn't look like we loot.
Russian mafia.
They all are. Keep up.
Don't loot bodies. Why would they even make this as a cell phone game? That's really not what Deus Ex is about. It seems such a silly thought. I mean, it's real early for me to be saying this, but just in the playing of it for 5 seconds, nothing in my mind equals, yes, this should be a cell phone game. This whole story is probably going to be wasted. Wow, I am...
You can perform a takedown by approaching an enemy and using the B button. You have the choice of performing a noisy lethal, hold B, or a silent non-lethal, press B, takedown. Approach an enemy in front of you while crouched and eliminate them silently using a non-lethal takedown. The rest of their squad will not be alerted.
Okay, so tap B for the non-lethal, and then approach them while you're crouched, and do it silently, and the rest of the people won't be alerted. So the way that's written, it indicates if you're not crouching down, then you do a non-lethal, they'll still be alerted. Well, here we're crouched. So press. Now these takedowns were really cool in why are they dissolving? That doesn't make any sense. In Human Revolution, they were probably the coolest part of the whole game. There was also a lot of running around looking for items and searching, and a little bit of hacking computers, a little bit of reading.
Where's Red?
Things.
Oh, she's around.
Great. Deny their communications.
You can interact with objects in the world by placing your crosshair on them and pressing the X button. Everything that can be used has a pop-up which will tell you what the object is. Some objects are also destructible, and some can be picked up or moved.
I'm wondering if this voice that we're hearing is a pre-recorded, like each word was voiced by a voice actor but separately, or if this is a straight text-to-speech engine. If this is an actual actor that they told to sound like that, they did a real disservice to her. It sounds bad.
Done.
Target comms are dead. Ready.
Alright, we placed the jammer in the place. And now we follow the next
Get that hatch
speech.
open. Insertion. Go.
Press the left stick to crouch. Now I can. And crawl through the ceiling. And go to a loading screen. To equip a weapon, you must select a quick slot to assign it to. Well, gee, we are certainly in the middle of a mission and we haven't equipped a weapon. I guess they wanted us just to learn the basics first. Alright, next. Choose any weapon you own that aren't already equipped will flash. Any weapons that you own that aren't already equipped will flash. Try selecting the combat rifle to assign to your first quick slot. Now that you've assigned the combat rifle to a quick slot, now return to the game to equip it. Okay.
Once a weapon has been assigned to a quick slot, you can hold down the Y button to roll out your available quick slots. Use the left thumbstick to select a quick slot.
Okay. See, what really scares me about this is that it feels like this game could be big, but it can't possibly be big. I mean, it just can't. Not if it's a cell phone game. I know how long it took to download on Steam, and that was only a few minutes. So, it can't be huge. So how do I get back to that? Just pressing start. So, what could I get? The stun gun for 550. Buzzkill threat negation device. So let's buy that. I guess. I'm gonna waste some money already. It's X for Y. Let's see. X. And yes. See, the only reason I could think it's actually asking to confirm that is because the game has some kind of buy more gold option, but I'm not seeing it so far, so I'm not gonna just assume that. It's a decent set of weapons. I don't think there were that many weapons in Human Revolution. I'm not sure there were really any weapons. I vaguely recall there being something about the ammo. Either you got not enough of it or too much of it, where you could never carry it. And then Praxis kit here would be 2,500 of the, what is this? It's a V with 2 stripes through it. I wonder what the name of that currency is. Keybreaker security device. Increase your reload. Sound suppressor. Well, it doesn't look like I'm gonna be able to buy anything else. Painkillers and energy bars. I know that you could never find enough energy bars in Human Revolution. We have augments here where I could select that, but before we do that, let's continue with the game. I just want to use the stun gun because I'm gonna try to do this non-lethal. I don't know if I killed those other people non-lethally. A lot of crouching down, which is only gonna make for a boring view. Let's see. Let's see. Use door, it is tough. They're telling you the door is tough in case you wanted to punch it down. What's with these walls? Unlock door. If I wanted to get against the wall. Use your radar to detect enemies. Well, there's a radar in the lower right, I believe.
Hostiles will appear as triangles on your radar at the bottom of the screen. The color of the triangle indicates the enemy's level of alertness, while its orientation shows what direction the enemy is facing. Green means unalert, orange means suspicious, and red means hostile.
How come she sounded so much better that time? And where did our battery go? We did a takedown, noticed that one battery is now gone. So we see that there is a hostile here, and we can press A to go to the other side. And I think I could probably sneak out from over here and try to
company.
Go tactical. Eliminate all threats.
So it basically wants me to be careful. If I hold A, I'll rotate. I'm seeing some bottles here I think I could probably throw. Maybe there's going to be a lot of this and that would explain it being a mobile game.
If you take damage, your body will automatically heal over time. You can replenish hit points instantly by consuming alcohol and painkillers. Consuming alcohol and painkillers with full health will boost your hit points above 100 to a maximum of 200 hit points.
Okay. That's interesting. Why does this guy not see me is the real question. My head is clearly sticking up over this. I can do as many of those as I want, but that's... Is he just gonna stand here and let me do it? There we go. Let's just be serious here. All we need to do is do this. So we did the takedown. We can take the gun off of him. We can take the pocket secretary. I remember in Human Revolution you got a lot of these things, but they did have a funny little rule where there was only like 3 emails on every computer, and even though they could be sorta long, like this email, which is kind of a long email by 2015 standards, they usually had either something interesting or a password or something in them. Well, of course, we're out of energy bars, so we'll only slowly recharge the one battery. I don't remember if it recharged half of your energy always, or just up to a certain level and then you were able to eat energy bars to get it further. Now I'm pressing A, there is no jump button. It feels really weird in a game. Definitely feels weird to not be able to jump. You could explain it in a storyline of dialogue real easy. These guys are just too heavy. Alright. Let's look here. An energy bar.
Energy cells are consumed when you perform takedowns or use your augmentation abilities. Partially used energy cells will regenerate themselves automatically over time. To instantly refill an energy cell, you can consume Cyber Boost energy bars.
Okay. So I could eat the energy bar right now if I wanted to. I don't see a real reason. It also looks like we're gonna end this tutorial right here. It is kind of weird, I know. I will grant you that, but I want to do just 30-minute episodes and keep them pretty consistent. So, yes, that is going to be the end of this recording. As always, I end all my recordings the same way. I try to call them recordings, but I get confused sometimes and say episodes, which has been a problem when games start. Some games are episodic, and anyways, I end all my recordings the same way. I ask you to like this video. I ask you to share it with your friends. I ask you to comment if you want to. And I ask you to watch every second of my videos. All of that helps me out with YouTube. Definitely share this, because I really feel like a lot of people are not going to know about the fall, because I didn't know about the fall. I could have sworn before I did some research that the latest game was Human Revolution, and I was very much on the hype train about Mankind Divided, and I probably still will be on the hype train, but it is important to realize what has actually happened in history. If you want to support me, what you can do is you can click on my name, Rydo. That will take you to my main YouTube page. On the right is a blue button that says support this channel. If you click that, you can make a donation, and it would be greatly appreciated. Also on my main YouTube page is a playlist tab. You can click that. You can see every other series that I've covered. I have a lot of videos. I've covered a lot of games. I have over 1,000 videos. I don't expect you to watch all 1,000, although that would be nice. 1,000 plus. But go find the game. Go watch some other stuff. That certainly would help me too. And then finally, down below in the description, I have a bunch of links to social media sites like Facebook, Twitter, Google+. I'm on Steam and Battle.net, and I even want friends there. I'm on Tumblr too, and possibly some other things. So just follow me on all those links. If you're on those services, let me know if there's some other service I should get on. And yeah, that's it for this recording. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.